Question 1. Answer: B. Psyllium alkaline. Explanation: trypsin is a protease enzyme secreted by the pancreas into the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. It continues its work along the ileum, small intestine. Because gastric juice makes the food entering from the stomach highly acidic, the pancreas secretes sodium hydrogen carbonate to neutralize it, ensuring that the small intestine maintains an alkaline environment around pH 7.8 to 8.0, which is the optimum pH for trypsin to function. Question 2. Answer: D. Ridges and 2 roots. Explanation: the diagram explicitly shows the crown profile of a upper molar, premolar, or a lower molar. Looking closely at the anatomy shown, the top surface has distinct ridges, cusps is meant for crushing and grinding, and the bottom section splits clearly into 2 distinct roots. Question 3. Answer: D. Roughage. Explanation: peristalsis is the rhythmic, wave-like contraction of smooth muscles along the alimentary canal that pushes food down. Roughage, dietary fiber, cannot be digested by human enzymes, so it adds bulk to the fecal matter. This bulk stretches the walls of the intestines, which directly stimulates the muscular walls to contract and efficiently promote peristalsis. Question 4. Answer: A. Canine for tearing flesh. Explanation: the cross-section shows a tooth with a single long root and a sharp, pointed crown profile, conical shape. This structure is characteristic of a canine tooth, which is specialized for gripping and tearing tough food like meat or flesh. Question 5. Answer: A. Amino acids. Explanation: an end product of digestion refers to the final, simplest, monomeric unit that can be directly absorbed into the bloodstream. Cellulose remains undigested by humans. Proteins and fats are large macronutrients that must be broken down. Amino acids are the final, fully broken down end products of protein digestion. Question 6. Answer: B. 3. Explanation: a dental formula gives the number of each type of tooth in one half of the upper and lower jaw. To find the total number of teeth, you add up all the numbers in the formula and multiply by 2. Total teeth equals 2 times I plus C plus PM plus M. Given the total is 42. Question 7. Answer: B. Structure B. Explanation: structure B points directly to the stomach. The gastric glands located in the inner muscular mucosa walls of the stomach secrete gastric juice, which contains hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen, to begin protein digestion and kill harmful microbes. Question 8. Answer: A. Acid. Explanation: tooth decay occurs when bacteria in the mouth feed on residual food sugars and produce acid as a metabolic byproduct. This localized acidic environment chemically dissolves the calcium and phosphate minerals making up the hard enamel surface, leading to cavities. Question 9. Answer: B. 8. Explanation: the dental formula shows PM for over for, meaning there are 4 premolars in the top half jaw and 4 premolars in the bottom half jaw on one side of the mouth. To get the total number of premolars in the entire mouth, you add them together and multiply by 2. Total premolars equals 4 plus 4 times 2 is equal to 8 times 2 is equal to 16. Correction note on standard canine dog dental formulas. In textbook exam conventions for this specific question setup, if the question asks for standard representation based strictly on the provided formula layout where PM for over for represents a side quadrant pairing, for on top left, for on bottom left, for on top right, for on bottom right totals 16 premolars. Let's look closer at the options provided. D is 16. Self-correction: total premolars equals 16. Option D. Question 10. Answer: D. Peristalsis. Explanation: the diagram visually shows a bolus of food being propelled forward through a tubular organ, the esophagus, via sequential circular muscle relaxation ahead of the food mass and muscle contraction behind it. This specific physiological movement is called peristalsis. Question 11. Answer: C. Low toxin levels in the blood. Explanation: the liver is primarily responsible for detoxification, breaking down metabolic wastes, alcohol, and drugs. If the liver suffers from an ailment or failure, its ability to filter out these compounds drops drastically, causing toxin levels in the blood to rise, not lower. Therefore, C is not an effect of a liver ailment. Question 12. Answer: C. Vitamin C. Explanation: beef, fish, and cheese are highly rich in proteins, lipids, iron, calcium, and fat-soluble vitamins, like vitamin D. However, animal products and dairy completely lack ascorbic acid, vitamin C, which is primarily found in fresh citrus fruits and leafy vegetables. Question 13. Answer: D. I equals 3/3, C equals 1/1, PM equals 4/4, M equals 2/3. Explanation: this is the standard, universally recognized adult canine dental formula. It reflects a total of 42 teeth distributed perfectly to match a dog's carnivorous diet requirement, 12 incisors, for canines, 16 premolars, and 10 molars. Question 14. Answer: C. 3 and 4. Explanation: peristalsis occurs throughout the muscular tubes of the digestive tract to keep food moving. In the diagram, 3 points to the esophagus, and 4 points to the small intestine, ileum. Both are major sites where regular peristaltic contractions take place. Question 15. Answer: C. 4. Explanation: the formula displays M2/3 where the numerator, 2, represents the number of molars on one side of the upper jaw. To find the total number of molar teeth across the entire upper jaw, left and right sides, you multiply by 2. Upper jaw molars equals 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Question 16. Answer: C. 12. Explanation: the formula notes I\frac 3, 3. This means there are 3 upper incisors and 3 lower incisors on one side of the mouth, a total of 6 on one half. Multiplying this by 2 to account for both the left and right sides of the mouth gives. Total incisors equals 3 plus 3 times 2 is equal to 12. Question 17. Answer: D. Pancreatic juice. Explanation: the line Q points directly to the pancreatic duct emerging from the pancreas, situated underneath the stomach loop, and opening into the duodenum. This duct carries alkaline pancreatic juice packed with enzymes like trypsin, amylase, and lipase. Question 18. Answer: C. Enamel. Explanation: enamel is the outer white protective layer covering the crown of the tooth. It is highly mineralized, mostly hydroxyapatite, and stands as the hardest tissue found anywhere in the human body. Question 19. Answer: B. Structure B. Explanation: structure B is the stomach. The stomach lining contains gastric pits that secrete hydrochloric acid, \text, HCl, establishing a highly acidic environment, pH 1.5 to 2.5, necessary to activate pepsin and kill ingested pathogens. Question 20. Answer: DI equals 3/3, C equals 1/1, PM equals 4/4, M equals 2/3. Explanation: looking at the pointed carnivorous skull structure with prominent, sharp canine teeth near the front, long snout, and sequential cheek teeth, premolars and molars, this represents a canid, dog, skull profile. Counting the visible structural teeth sets matches the standard carnivore formula perfectly. Question 21. Answer: B. Assimilation. Explanation: glucose being used by liver cells to build up glycogen is an example of metabolic incorporation. While absorption is taking nutrients into the blood, assimilation is the process where digested and absorbed food molecules are taken in by body cells and built into complex substances or used for energy growth. Question 22. Answer: D. Roughage. Explanation: constipation occurs when feces become hard, dry, and difficult to pass. Roughage, dietary fiber, absorbs water and adds bulk to the undigested food mass. This stimulates peristalsis and keeps the contents moving smoothly through the large intestine, preventing constipation. Question 23. Answer: A. Duodenum. Explanation: bile is synthesized and produced by the liver, stored in the gall bladder, and carried via the bile duct to be secreted into the duodenum, the first loop of the small intestine. Here, it performs the critical job of emulsifying lipids, breaking large fat globules into tiny droplets. Question 24. Answer: B. Gastric juice. Explanation: pepsin is an endopeptidase that requires a highly acidic environment to become active and function efficiently. This optimal environment is provided by hydrochloric acid HCl, which is a key chemical component of gastric juice secreted by the stomach lining. Question 25. Answer: C. Kwashiorkor. Explanation: a diet high in carbohydrates, like maize meal or cassava, but lacking proteins leads to kwashiorkor. Its classic clinical symptoms include a swollen, distended abdomen, due to fluid retention edema, thin limbs, and stunted growth. Marasmus, by contrast, is a total deficiency of both calories and protein. Question 26. Answer: B. Deamination. Explanation: the body cannot store excess amino acids. The liver breaks down the surplus amino acids by removing the nitrogen-containing amino group, converting it into toxic ammonia, and subsequently into safer urea for excretion. This biochemical pathway is known as deamination. Question 27. Answer: A. Assimilation. Explanation: the liver uses amino acids absorbed from the blood to synthesize plasma proteins like fibrinogen, prothrombin, and albumin. This conversion of simple nutrient building blocks into functional, complex cellular components is the definition of assimilation. Question 28. Answer: B. Duodenum. Explanation: the diagram shows the midsection of the human digestive loop. Label B points directly to the C-shaped first curve of the small intestine immediately following the stomach, which is anatomically identified as the duodenum. For reference, A is the stomach, C is the pancreas, and D is the pancreatic duct. Question 29. Answer: B. Explanation: looking at the provided dental formulas. Formula B shows I2/2 C1/1, PM2/2, M3/3. Let's calculate the total teeth. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 times 2 is equal to 16 times 2 is equal to 32. This is the exact dental formula for an adult human. Question 30. Answer: C. To increase the surface area for enzyme action. Explanation: emulsification is a physical breakdown process, not a chemical one. Bile salts act like a biological detergent that breaks up large, hydrophobic fat globules into millions of microscopic droplets. This vastly increases the total surface area available for water-soluble lipase enzymes to bind and rapidly digest the fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Question 31. Answer: D. Molar. Explanation: the diagram illustrates a tooth with a wide, flattened top crown featuring multiple distinct cusps, ridges, along with 3 separate roots. This heavy-duty anatomy is specialized for crushing and grinding tough food particles, which specifically identifies it as a molar tooth. Question 32. Answer: A. Canine. Explanation: the diagram shows a tooth with a single, elongated root and a sharp, pointed, conical crown. This structure is built to pierce, grip, and tear tough meat or flesh apart, which is the exact characteristic and function of a canine tooth. Question 33. Answer: A. Duodenum. Explanation: while the stomach starts the digestion of proteins using pepsin, none of the main food groups, carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, are fully or simultaneously digested in the mouth or stomach. It is only in the duodenum that pancreatic juice, containing amylase, trypsin, and lipase, mixes with the food, meaning all 3 major food nutrients are actively broken down together at this site. Question 34. Answer: B. Heterodont. Explanation: mammals possess different types of teeth, incisors, canines, premolars, and molars, that vary in shape and size to perform specific, specialized tasks like biting, tearing, and chewing. This dental adaptation is known as a heterodont dentition. Animals whose teeth are all identical in shape, like sharks or reptiles, are called homodonts. Question 35. Answer: A. Bile duct. Explanation: the liver produces bile, which is temporarily stored and concentrated in the gallbladder. When needed, the gallbladder contracts to transport this fluid into the duodenum via the bile duct. If this duct becomes blocked, e.g., by a gallstone, bile cannot enter the small intestine, significantly lowering the efficiency of fat emulsification. Question 36. Answer: C. Proteins. Explanation: the graph plots the chemical digestion of a food substance over time as it moves through the organs of the alimentary canal. The line stays completely flat and unchanged in the mouth, meaning it is not digested by salivary amylase. The amount of the substance begins dropping significantly once it enters the stomach. Because the stomach specifically secretes pepsin to break down proteins in an acidic environment, this substance must be protein. Carbohydrates would start digesting in the mouth, while fats do not start digesting until they reach the duodenum. Question 37. Answer: B. Assimilation. Explanation: glucose being converted into glycogen for storage in the liver cells is a key example of assimilation, where an organism incorporates absorbed nutrients into its own body structures or stores them for long-term metabolic use. Question 38. Answer: B. Duodenum. Explanation: looking at the provided anatomical diagram of the upper gastrointestinal loop, label B identifies the C-shaped curved section immediately following the stomach, which is the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. Question 39. Answer: B. I/frac 2, 2, C/frac 1, 1, PM/frac 2, 2, M/frac 3, 3. Explanation: this formula calculates 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3, times 2 is equal to 32 total teeth. This represents the standard dental arrangement found in an adult human. Question 40. Answer: C. To increase the surface area for enzyme action. Explanation: bile mechanically emulsifies large lipid drops into microscopic fat droplets. This physical separation does not alter the chemical nature of the fats, but it dramatically increases the total surface area available for water-soluble lipase enzymes to bind and digest them efficiently. Question 41. Answer: B. Assimilation. Explanation: when individual, absorbed amino acids are brought to the liver and physically linked together to synthesize complex, functional plasma proteins like fibrinogen. Question 42. Answer: B. Constipation. Explanation: a lack of dietary fiber or roughage causes the fecal mass to lose bulk and hold less moisture, leading to slowed movement through the large intestine. As too much water gets reabsorbed, the feces become hard and dry, resulting in constipation. Question 43. Answer: A. Duodenum. Explanation: the liver continuously manufactures bile, which travels down the hepatic and common bile ducts to be secreted directly into the duodenum to facilitate the processing of fats. Question 44. Answer: B. Gastric juice. Explanation: pepsinogen is an inactive enzyme that requires an extremely low pH, acidic environment, to activate into pepsin. Hydrochloric acid, \text, HCl, which provides this specific environment, is a major component of gastric juice produced in the stomach. Question 45. Answer: C. Kwashiorkor. Explanation: a nutritional deficiency characterized by a severe lack of protein alongside a sufficient or high intake of carbohydrates causes kwashiorkor. The most common clinical sign is fluid retention, edema, that gives rise to a swollen abdomen. Question 46. Answer: B. Deamination. Explanation: because excess amino acids cannot be stored by the body, the liver breaks down their nitrogen-containing amino groups, NH_2, into toxic ammonia, which is immediately converted to urea for excretion. This metabolic breakdown pathway is called deamination. Question 47. Answer: B. Gastric juice. Explanation: the question asks which juice contains an enzyme that digests protein. the stomach lining secretes gastric juice, which contains the inactive enzyme pepsinogen. In the presence of hydrochloric acid, \text, HCl, it activates into pepsin, an endopeptidase that hydrolyzes proteins into smaller peptide chains. Question 48. Answer: C. Kwashiorkor. Explanation: a nutritional disease characterized by a severely swollen abdomen, edema, thin limbs, and stunted growth in children is kwashiorkor. It is explicitly caused by a severe deficiency of protein in a diet that is otherwise high in carbohydrates, like maize or cassava meal. Question 49. Answer: B. Deamination. Explanation: the human body cannot store excess amino acids. To prevent toxic accumulation, the liver chemically removes the nitrogen-containing amino group, NH_2, from surplus amino acids. This amino group is converted into ammonia and subsequently into urea for excretion. This exact pathway is known as deamination. Question 50. Answer: C. Assimilation. Explanation: the graph tracks the path of absorbed amino acids being converted into blood plasma proteins, such as fibrinogen or albumin, within the liver. Taking simple absorbed nutrients and chemically building them into the complex, functional structures of an organism's body is the textbook definition of assimilation.